Welcome back, guys, to the Stay Groovy podcast. We got some movies coming up, some real good ones. I try to get out to most of the biopics. Don't always get out to the show, but if I miss it on seeing it in the big screen, then I'll just watch it on Crave or when it comes out on Netflix and stuff like that. But the last one I saw, what would have been the last one, Emily, before this? As far as the music biopics,
I have no idea.
it seems like, well, they come, they go, and it's like, okay. But Bob Dylan was the last big one, I'd say. Yeah, and that was fairly successful. So, at my store, Vintage and Vinyl, we are expecting a little bit of an uptick on Bruce Springsteen albums. We'll see. It doesn't always, movies don't always kind of, dictate necessarily. Queen did real well for us. When the Motley Crue came out with The Dirt on Netflix, we went nuts and it was gone. Boom. Like, I didn't have a lot of Motley Crue because it was heavy metal. We didn't have a lot of to begin with, but then when that came out, that was the time frame that Motley Crue records, you no longer could find them, because I think that really brought out and kind of introduced Motley Crue to a whole new audience. And so as far as used Motley Crue now, I wouldn't call them rare, but I'd say they're hard to find, especially when you get into Dr. Feelgood in the 90s. But we're not talking about Motley Crue today. We're talking about Bruce Springsteen movie, Deliver. I'm going to screw up this title. I keep looking it up.
From Nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah, and it's hard to remember that title. I don't know what it is, but okay. So this movie, Deliver Me from Nowhere. I don't know the significance of the title. Maybe you can comment below, or I don't know exactly if that has who picked the title. It's hard for me to remember it. I don't know, it's not the most memorable title, but as I understand it, and I haven't read all the reviews or anything, it's been kind of mixed bag a little bit. So as far as the movie goes, some have, I'm not gonna review it because I didn't see it, but I have read some of the reviews and it's been a little bit mixed, but. I don't know. I think sometimes they're really hard on these music movies. Sometimes it's like, it's not an easy chore to try to emulate or try to, capture an era, much less to an artist who's, very individual. And but I don't know. He looks like him, I guess, enough. Yeah, is it a spinning image of Bruce Springsteen? No, not really. But at that age, I guess I can see it. But works for me. And it's a movie, right? So, but anyway, I have a few Bruce Springsteen records, and I'm going to just show you what we have in stock right now. These are all used records except one. So we got our opening track there with Born to Run. We've got, I believe, 5 copies of that, so we're in good shape for that one. And that's probably one of his most popular records. Probably Born in the USA is the most well-known, maybe. But Born to Run, early work, and then, Born in the USA, more than 80s thing. This is, I forget the title, it's a long title, The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. Somebody's coming in. Never fails. So we're going to pause right now and we'll take it up. The next one we have is his second record. It's got a long title. Bruce Springsteen, The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. So that was his second record. I don't have his first record in right now. What's that one called? Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey was his first record, and I don't have a copy of that right now. So if you're after that one, I'm not your Huckleberry. But by the time this airs, maybe I'll have one. Who knows? So, next one. This is my... Hard to pick a favorite. I'm not a huge Boss fan. Well, I like him. I think he's pretty talented man, hell of a songwriter, and has done pretty well for himself. This record is called Darkness on the Edge of Town, and if you want to zoom in, This is it's an underrated, I think, album. I think it's if you look at his face just on the cover, it kind of really captures. This is Bruce Springsteen at his most vulnerable, I guess, is what we will best way to describe it. And a real nice V-neck white shirt. and messed up hair. He just looks like he's had a rough go. So, like he's not really sure what the hell's going on. So,
Looks like they will come up and they're like, picture time. Shit,
well, it's a little. I mean, it right away you're going to get into a little more heavier topics, relationship stuff, and yeah, a little heavier content, I think, on that one. So, this is his double album, The River. I'm not that familiar with this record. I don't find myself putting this on that often, but sold well enough. God damn, we have got to figure out a way to stop hitting this thing. Maybe.
Nice shirt.
Oh, thank you. This is Hardtail. That's a nice segue. I don't even know what you can see, but there you go. For the beer, Hardtail Tattoos, Windsor, Ontario. Doesn't have their address, and you'd have to put it underneath. But I don't want to. I don't want to create lots of editing for you. But they're Windsor. They're on Drouillard. I know that much. But yeah, that's where I go for my tattoos ink. So you can see Allison, or you can see Boston Scott. Next album. Born and Earned in the USA. Much more than just that song. If you think that's the only song, there was about, I didn't want to say there's 7 or 8 hits on this thing. Like, it was a singles machine, this record, with, of course, Dancing in the Dark. And then Born in the USA was the anthemic kind of thing. Not my favorite song, but I mean, if you're American, I suppose you'd probably be a little more into it. It's very patriotic, I guess. But I don't know if there's a hidden meaning in it. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I just used to come on and I'm like, this song again. Because it got played ad nauseum when it was a hit. But the one I like is, well, My Hometown is good. Glory Days, I think, is a fun song. I'm on Fire is probably my favorite song. That's a slow one. And Downbound Train was also. So this thing is just, like I said, a hits machine for him. And obviously it's was the record that sold the most ever for him, I think. But so we've got about 5 copies of that in right now. So yeah, most of the records from that I'm showing you, we have multiples, except for that one, the second album. That one we only have one. So this one we only have one. This followed Born in the USA and wasn't quite as successful, but he was never gonna, as far as hits and sales, was never gonna top that record ever. But still a good album, ton of love. But I think the song Tougher Than the Rest is really a sweet song, and he sings it with his wife? I never get that right. Patty, whatever, Scalia or whatever. I don't know if they're married or whatever, but I always seem to think that they've been together forever, but they didn't necessarily.
Patty Scaffia, yeah, they're married.
Scaffia, they're married. Okay, I don't know. I think they weren't married for quite a while. And then they tied the knot whenever. Again, I'm like a casual fan of Mr. Springsteen. I like him, but I don't know everything there is to know. So I'm actually going to try to get out and see the movie if I can. Last but not least, these are just a couple solo artists from the E Street Band. Clarence Clemens and then Little Steven. These are a couple of records that are just, I thought, were kind of in the same mode. But so as far as the movie goes, I hope it's good. Hope to see it probably within a week. And if you're looking if you get your boss fix on, we certainly have enough records to at least wet your whistle. So come on down and hey, the secret. What should we make the secret phrase that pays? How's about Born in the USA? Just say that for 20% off. Stay groovy.